Hello! It's been a long time. I'm sorry if I look a little bit disheveled. It's because I just heard the mailman come and I have right here the first proofs of my book. This is not the final result, just the proofs. Let me sort of adjust this. Can you see me okay? Yeah, so I am really excited. I haven't seen this yet. And I don't know if I'm gonna get emotional or anything because this has been 6 years in the making. But anyway, there's still some work to do. But oh my god! So first of all, it's a chonky book. Look at this. It's 422 pages after everything is said and done. But you can see not for resale because there's the proofs there. Wow. Yeah, so I got the cover commissioned and he suggested that I brighten up everything in here just because he's more experienced with the, print on demand and the way that the colors can sometimes be muted or a little bit too dark, etc. So that was the only thing, but he sort of maintained Rosalind Gooder's initial vision, so to speak. And the back looks great. Okay, so flipping through, first page. All the pages. So what I need to do next, I need to make sure that, first of all, there are no typos because we've been through like 30 different passes of this, both my copy editor and I, and also friends and family and just other readers in general who have emailed me and said, hey, I found like a tiny little typo here. It's not that big of a deal, but you might want to fix it. And that's really easy to do in Kindle because all I have to do is fix the typo, re-upload the file, and then within 1 to 3 days, it's up in the system. And anybody who had previously purchased the Kindle, it's automatically, like the new version is automatically downloaded to their Kindle. So the error is corrected for everybody. But obviously when you have things immortalized in ink, it makes things a little bit more stressful. So I want to make sure that it is as good as possible and has as few errors as possible. So you can see how every story has its own little corset there, and we cycled through about 35 different corsets, all basically like public domain. I purchased a kit from Avalon Rose Design, so because she had pingified everything and turned it into basically vectorized it. And any of the other photos, I need to make sure that they printed, and they're not too saturated, they're not too bright, they're not too washed out or anything. Now I did go back and any of the color photos I set to grayscale, and I made sure that I basically played with the settings to make sure that it would come out nicely in black and white print, because obviously there's a difference between a color photo versus a non-color photo. See, this one right here, I might have to go back and play with the contrast because there's a lot of haze right there and not really sure what you're seeing in some places. But, oh my gosh, for the most part, I'm really, really pleased with this. I really love this corset right there. But it is so surreal after more than half a decade to be holding this in my hand right now. My heart is beating so fast. But yeah, so I still got some work to do. Still some tweaks to make. See, right, so somewhere back here, there seemed to be a little like widow line. I'm not a fan of that. That's a lot of white space wasted. I don't know whether this story could be tweaked. It's only like 3 pages long. So we'll see what I can do about that. I'm actually speechless. I honestly don't know what to say. I'm really super excited. That came out really tiny and a little bit fuzzy. So I might have to go back and fix that one. See, with the newspaper clippings, I put in actually like full Victorian ladies here, as opposed to like floaty corsets, because it sets it apart from the other more modern stories, the contributors, but it's still within the theme. See, that's a little light. I could probably darken that up and increase the contrast. Not too much, but yeah. So I ordered the maximum number of proofs that I can get in a single run, which is 5. So I'll keep one for myself, and I'll send some to my beta readers, and hopefully they're fast readers so that they can give me their changes before Christmas and they can be released. And I'm really excited, and I think I've said that about 20 times now, but it's the truth. Yeah. So. Thank you to all my patrons who have been following along with the story and answering the polls and like basically helping crowdsource like what would be popular around this book, like vectors versus non-vectors and layouts for the story, like the internal book layout, and following along with the the hilarious saga when it came to finding a good spine and back cover artist for this book and everything. So yeah, it's all coming together and it's all starting to feel real, and I'm pumped. So that's all. I won't keep this going on for too long, but just know that I am super grateful to each and every one of my patrons who had read my book, first of all, and contributed to the polls and gave me your opinions. And I'm really proud of how this is coming together, how this has come together so far. And I'm a lot more confident about releasing it now. So I kind of wish I didn't wait almost 6 years to do this, but everything comes in good time. So I will leave it at that, and I will update you next time. Bye.